Hi, I'm Mayor Bob Foster. You're going to hear Chief McDonnell tell you about an incident that occurred the other night where an officer was put in danger, and through the actions of 4 individuals, actually 4 military personnel, that officer's life was probably saved. They got involved, they took action, and they protected one of Long Beach's finest. And I want to thank them. I want to thank ABNER. The 3 other individuals are Marines. They were deployed. ABNER is here. They chose to not stand by and not ignore what was going on to get involved. Now, for most people, we asked them to call the police. These gentlemen, they were a group of people, they were trained, and they were able to help. And it's an example of what you can do when you pay attention to what's going on, and it's an example of what you can do when someone's life is threatened, and it is probably the best example I know of civic engagement and getting involved in an issue and not standing by. So I just we want to today just let people know what took place, let them know that story, and give our thanks to 4 people, not only for their service in our country's military, but for their service to this city and their service to an individual and a police officer in need.
Last night about 6:30, units responded, Long Beach PD units responded to a call for a man with a knife down in the area of 4th and Chestnut. They searched the area, they did not locate the individual with the knife, and as they were clearing, one of our sergeants stayed at in the general location and was speaking to a young child in the area. At that point, the suspect came out from a house or between houses and grabbed the sergeant, and the fight was on. The suspect, during the course of this, excuse me, stabbed the sergeant 3 times in the head, and the sergeant continued to fight with the suspect in an attempt to take him into custody. A shot was fired during this exchange, and when you look at where we were versus where we could be today, we're very thankful, as the mayor mentioned, that close by there was a person from the United States Army, ABNER MARQUEZ, who's joined us here today, who's also a native of Long Beach, and 3 Marines, 1 from Long Beach, 1 from Fresno, and 1 from Pennsylvania, who are reporting this morning down to Camp Pendleton, ready to be deployed to Afghanistan on Saturday morning. So we were very fortunate they were there. They saw what was going on, and they didn't stand by and just say, let's see what happens next. They jumped in and assisted the sergeant in taking the suspect into custody. Had this intervention not been done, it's anybody's guess as to how this would have turned out today. So we're extremely thankful for their courage, their dedication, and their willingness to become involved in something that could have turned out very different than it did today. So we have a couple of, thank you. This one here is to Private First Class ABNER MARQUEZ, United States Army. On behalf of the men and women of the Long Beach Police Department, you are commended for your courage, commitment, and dedication for not only protecting our country, but for protecting our community.
I just want to say that thankfully we were there to help out. It's not something that we feel that we had to do, it's something that we wanted to do as well. But why not? Fortunately, we were right there at the right place at the right time, and we just hope that the officer's doing okay. We hope that everything goes smooth and whatnot with him. And it's I don't feel it's something that's courageous or whatnot. It's something that we're trained to do, something that they tell us that we should do, and it's something that we're more than willing to do. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you. We can't tell you what our train of thought was at the moment. We just knew that the officer needed help, and it was our first instinct, help out the officer.
How does it feel to be honored?
The honor isn't really much for us. In the Army, we have a thing called the Army values, and one of them is selfless service. And I stand to live by those Army values, so selfless service really doesn't come with honor and praise. It's just something that we choose to do. Whichever service it is, Marine Corps or the United States Army. Yeah.
What did you see happening to the officer at the time? How was he being attacked?
It was more like a struggle for the weapon. So we were trying to make sure that he didn't get the better hand of the weapon. So first, Like our main deal was for the suspect not to get the weapon. That was our intended mission. You know, because we heard a gunshot, so we didn't want another one to, you know, happen again, especially towards the officer or one of us.
Was there any discussion among you and your friends when you came upon the scene, or you just all acted as soon as you saw it?
Oh no, it was just I guess we all had the same train of thought. It was, you know, help out the officer. It wasn't like we were like, should we help him? That we never asked that. We knew we had to go help. It was the first thing we did. It was all simultaneous, just quick dash towards the officer.
How is the officer doing?
He's doing okay. He was in a lot of pain last night. He was treated throughout the night. He was released from the hospital. He is recovering at home, so will require further follow-up. Thank you.